Hello, Ray Lee with Speedboat Magazine here with another episode of the Boats and Bros podcast, and back here with my bro Myrick Coil, and we have none other than Vinnie Diorio of SV Offshore Racing and Austin Holmes now. What's up, Vinnie?
What's up, bros?
Yeah. Austin Holmes, new sponsor. Boat looks great.
Yeah, worked out pretty well. We wanted to go red. We were fun with the coils already started.
Yeah, fucking dog right off the bat.
So yeah, we planned. We had the wrap all ripped off the boat before Sheboygan just because it was going to be our hometown race and wanted to do something different. The wrap was getting kind of tattered. We planned on going red, and then we started talking to Tom Austin from Austin Holmes, and put a deal together to finish up the season and hopefully on to next season. So it ended up going red, but with a little bit more flair to it, I guess. So Stephen Miles kind of designed a wrap, and there we go.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
and
right.
I got to meet Tom for maybe 5 minutes at the awards ceremony, and he's a pretty cool dude.
He fits in pretty good. He fits in real good.
Yeah.
He says when we were at the awards, he says, "What do you drink?" I said, "Well, Crown if we're past beer." He goes, "Me too." He goes, "God, this is a good match."
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
So we're just coming off the Midwest Challenge in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where that new boat debuted with the new wrap with Austin Holmes, and you guys had one heck of a battle on the water.
Yeah.
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 So this is the interview that people want to hear. Tell us what happened.
Well, it depends whose team you're on.
Well, we got both of you, so we get both sides of the story.
But
Vinnie, why don't you start?
We're the two opposite ones, though.
Right.
Yeah. We're biased.
Yeah. Well, he's holding the wheel, and I'm on the throttle in mine, so we're different.
Oh, right.
But,
yeah.
So we should get Matt. We should get Matt in here.
I mean, we should get Matt and Tyler. We could all just point fingers in all directions.
Oh, hey, we just go like that.
Yeah, no.
Super Cat class.
Yeah, Super Cat class, start of the race, got tight in turn one, and they hit our rooster tail, and they went up in the air, and it really affected their outcome of their race. I don't know if it affected our outcome as much, but because I think we were pretty fast. But, you know, when you get shuffled to the back, it's hard to get around, especially in a tight course like that with left-handers.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely tough to pass into the dog leg. I think when we come out of it, I think we were second to last or something when we come out of it, and with some other boats breaking and kind of just staying.
I think there was 8 boats in it.
7.
Was there 8 boats? 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows how much I know.
So you guys were all charging for that one pin on the near side, on the beach side, and
yeah, it's actually a 4-pin turn.
Right.
It's a pretty good sweeper.
Yeah.
And
what happened, bro? You're pretty quiet.
Well, when I got you on here, you know, it's definitely different.
Why I don't know, filter.
let it fly. Let's go.
Yeah, go, Vinny.
No,
go,
no,
Vinny.
no.
I'll sit here and take my licks and grin.
No, it was a sweeping corner. I mean, we've talked, and I don't know, you know, if I drove it in too hard or if he turned a little hard, but I'm sure there's a mixture of both.
And there was nothing intentional.
No,
literally.
Of course.
No.
I mean, he's the last guy on the course that I ever thought would, you know, drive us, that, you know, come across us or whatever. But it just we carry the fleet down. I mean, we have the corner. It's our. I'm on the pole, and we have it. Yeah, Myrick was third. So I mean, within some reason, if I feel like driving the field out a little bit further, we kind of can.
Yeah.
He had a fast boat. He beat us to the pin, and he turned it harder than we did. So mean, I'm not gonna pick on them for it. It's done, passed over with. They had a fast boat and they beat us to the pin.
Yeah, we went way short in the race.
So for those that haven't seen it, it was a gnarly thing. I mean, Vinnie, your boat lifted and kept lifting, and you were up there for a long time.
It felt like 3-4 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
It's probably what
So what was
like
that sensation
Danielle.
like?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the credit. I'll take it. That's a long time, dude. In our house, 3-4 minutes. That's a long time.
Well, the thing a lot of people don't realize too that you can't really see in the video or tell what it's doing to the boats. It's pushing them left to right that whole way down that straightaway. So one thing is that if you set up left and start working your way right, you're going to basically end up, close to the pin. So that is, the goal, but you just don't want to, you want to maintain your lane. So maybe, through, I don't know, when you get that many boats in a row and you try to do everything you can, sometimes it gets manipulated. So I don't know.
Can we pause this 1 second so I can fucking put this thing up higher? So
Sure,
I'm not, wouldn't it make more sense if I'm up like
he
this?
edits it.
Yeah,
that
I
looks
edited
better.
it, yeah.
I'm like looking down on the thing. Let me find something to put this on.
Yeah.
Get the phone book that you were sitting on and put it under there.
Shut the fuck up. I can hear you.
Can hear you.
So you guys got to be pretty busy at performance, getting ready for shootout week next week.
It's madhouse. I don't know. I talked to Mike Griffith today, and we were just talking about some kind of off work stuff, and he calls it my hell week. And I mean, literally, this weekend starts the Make a Wish, which is a fun event, and then
That's Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday.
You are to Make a Wish.
Yeah, and then we go.
Nothing. I did it. Oh yeah, I'm good. Eh? Go get me another beer.
And
That's better, ain't it?
Oh
yeah.
Yep. Here's my little 6-year-old.
Center it up a little bit better.
Yeah. What's up, Cam?
Hey, Cam.
Say hi, Vinny. Hi. Say hi, Ray. Hey,
hi.
Little Vin just went to bed.
Yeah. This guy's walking through with a PlayStation controller in his hand. I don't think he has bed in mind anytime soon.
We're okay. I'm ready when you're.
Right.
Is that good or what?
No, that's good.
So where were we at? Danielle,
so
you didn't get my fucking beer.
You were lighting me up.
No, I didn't.
No. We were talking about I was talking about the way the wind blows you across, but that was another thing that held him up was that wind, because literally the wind was from
pushing
the port
us
side.
in.
Yeah, pushing us in. And so therefore when the boat comes up, the wind, thank goodness the wind was to his left, and you could kind of see how it pushed him down. But
so
anyway.
we knew that too going into the start, that we wanted to get further out away from the pin, because
it's tough. It's tough.
We
though,
knew that it was going to push us back in. So, we're trying to push CR out. And if you look at the start, like, I don't know what the deal, but they had all sorts of room on both sides of them. I mean, there was 3 boats in between MCON and CR, and there was 3 boats between MCON and WHM on the other side. Like, they had all sorts of room to move around. And, luckily for them, they could kind of set themselves up a lot going into that corner where we didn't have any of that room. The pin was coming up and we needed to make a right, but we could only get so far out to the left to make that right.
I always feel the same way in Key West. I've drawn the pole there, and I don't even want it.
But the thing is nice with Key West is, for if the water conditions are good, just because our turn 1 in Key West is where everything comes together. But if you can go out there flat, water, you still got to navigate that corner. But yeah.
I'm just talking about being on the inside and your turn being a 120-degree turn instead of an 80-degree turn when you're lane 10 or whatever, because you're just coming in at a different angle.
And so, I was coaching Matt all the way down, like push him, push him, push him. So it would set us up for as much room as we could to sweep it, and to get around it. But I mean, we ran out of room.
Yeah. His new sponsor thought it was cool.
Oh, yeah. He asked us if we could do it tomorrow. He says, "You guys think you could do this tomorrow?" I said, "No, I don't. We're good."
I mean, every video that's out there has gone viral, and that Austin Holmes is everywhere. I mean, you can't pay for that kind of publicity.
No.
So he's got to be over the moon.
I think he's pretty excited about it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hawk 2.
Yeah. Somebody sent me a message today that a video that I think that Blake, our media guy, I guess it was up to like 2.8 or 2.9 views of the 3 video one that he made.
Jeez.
That's
pretty
great.
Good.
Yeah. So what does it feel like when you're going up and all you're seeing is sky?
I mean, I kind of looked out the front windscreen and there was nothing but clouds. And so, like in the video, you kind of see me lean over a little bit and try to look out the side just so I could kind of see where we were at.
I've seen a video that was made that is pretty hilarious. It is
I've seen it too.
Oh, yes. I tried to get Vinny to send it to me, but he didn't.
That wasn't pretty good.
Bobby. I'm flying in the air. He said, yeah, I think it's an old Ricky Bobby.
No, that one will come out soon enough here.
I got you, Pepe Le bitch.
Ah, Ricky Bobby.
Enchanté! Hey, it's me, America!
He's airborne!
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
Ricky! Cool!
Yeah. I've been in that situation when Pro Floors came across us in Sarasota and you stand it up, especially, at high speed. And it seems like forever, but then you time and it's probably 4 seconds, 5 seconds, but
ours might have been a little bit longer than that.
It seemed like forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since your tunnel tab was down, it probably did affect it.
It was not. And I can send you the video from the back of the bulkhead that shows it is clean up.
Oh, okay.
And you can even see where my trim is on my drive to see that I was tucked in to turn it. Okay.
So is there any way when you're in the boat to know what degree or how high up you are?
I'm sure they probably got it in MCON or Dirty Money. They probably got a fucking.
We got
some gyro. Oh yeah, probably.
No, we got a seakeeper.
Yeah. Inside of them 2 boats look like spaceships, so I'm sure they got it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cool thing, Vin, is that the onboard video that you released shows you working the crap out of the sticks.
Well, I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, but it clearly it worked that time, or it just made it look like it worked. I don't know.
Yeah, when in doubt, just stab the throttles and work it around like you know what you're doing.
I remember that in Key West when Grant went over in the X Insurance. I remember when he come back to the pits after he got picked up or whatnot and came back from the hospital. I said, "Well, what was that like?" And he's like, "Well, I buried the drives and I just put it to the dash, And when I kind of came up, I pulled out of it right away and it just kept going. So then I gave it a little bit, and that's when you kind of see me look out the window to see if that did anything, and then it seemed like it started to come down, and right at the end of the video, you see I just hammered it, but I tucked my drives in right away. I just held them down.
Because you'd have been going down into the turn anyway already.
Yeah.
So you kind of resting your finger on that button, ready to
slam
it. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you kind of see from the outside video, you see when when I whacked the throttles, the spray of the blades was, the water was coming off the blades for sure. So that's when we started to grab a little bit.
Yes, literally. I watched it and it looks like they're just like, it's like almost slow motion on the blades to where they're just barely ticking the water.
Yeah. No, and then, they crawled around in the boat after we got it back and just checked things over. I mean, we finished the race, which was super cool. But we had a lot
your new Sterling Power's doing good.
Yeah, for sure.
I talked to Greg. He says he's ecstatic about having an engine package that's, reliable and kicks ass.
Yeah, it'll be nice with our other set when they're done that they're exactly the same. So when you take them in and out, all the dress is going to be the same. But when I got home, I guess, or Monday, when I got a chance, I got down in the boat and crawled around and just kind of looked at all the bulkheads, which it came down so soft. I didn't really think there was a problem. I mean, we had harder hits than that in Ocean City.
Yeah.
So I knew that's
when you were throttling our boat, you mean?
Yeah. Couldn't even. I'm sitting on life jackets to see over the freaking thing.
Yeah.
Is that when he was waiting by the mailbox for his monster check?
Yeah,
I think it's coming.
Casey friended him the other day on something, and he sent me a picture and circled it, and she friended him, and he goes, "Do you think this means my check's coming soon?"
What the fuck you think so funny? I think that's what it's for. They're gonna ditch you probably.
Probably. Yeah, I'm the fucking black sheep anymore.
Yep.
So the rest of the race, I mean, it went off. I mean, Myrick, you guys took a lead, and
it couldn't have went any better. Actually, I thought Dirty Money was there for a long time. After exiting the 4 pins and coming out, I knew Dirty Money was on the outside. So basically, at that point, it's anywhere you want to go kind of thing, as long as you have overtake. And I was going to the yellow pin. It's fun for a driver to have that when you're in the lead, but if you're not in the lead in a race that has a left-hander, it pisses you off every time around, because you set up and you try to, the best way to get under or around somebody is drive around them on the outside or fool them and dive under. But when they can just kind of push you out and make you eat shit on that left-hander, I mean, it's tough to get around, especially going back into, kind of go back to the left and then you're going back into another right-hander. So if you try to drive around them on the outside in that left-hander, they're going to make you eat shit on the right-hander. So it's kind of, it's good if you're in the lead. It sucks if you're in second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever.
Well,
it is.
And that's what we battled. I mean, we ended up getting behind Gradle there, and Gradle was third, and we battled the whole, I don't know, lap 3 on maybe to get around him.
Yeah, 3 through 11 then.
Yeah, and I mean, I messed up. I should have just set him up on one side and then just ran him down and passed him on the other side instead of trying to pass him on both sides of the course. Because
you got to pick a side.
Yeah, and that's where I screwed up. After I got out of the boat, after we were done, I was like, fuck, I should have just set him up on one side and then make a run on him on the straight side, and I probably would have got around him. But we were trying to pass him in the dog leg and trying to pass him on the front stretch, and I would just lose it every time.
Yeah, I felt that way with when we were battling in Class 1. Obviously DeFalco had us covered on Sunday. Saturday they had us covered too, but then when our boat was, the setup was getting worse and worse as fuel was burned off on Sunday in the Class 1, and DF Young / Good Boy Vodka got around us, and they just made us eat shit, which was, good, fair play, because I made them eat shit on Saturday. So, you take what you get, but we were trying to hold them off on the outside, and they were just able to, with that big boat and that kind of sloppy water down on the I guess it would be the south end. Yeah. It was kind of gnarly down there, especially early in the day. The later in the day, it got calmer for the Super Cat race.
Well, I think the wind changed more straight across on us. Before it was kind of quartering us, and we'd run down it a little bit, and it seemed like it changed. I don't know.
Yeah.
More out
Yeah,
of
I
this.
did. I was watching, and with all the different classes in between, we had the was it 450 on Sunday, or no, it was just the
I remember
smaller
Saturday.
boats. On
Yeah.
well, it was the Sunday race. Saturday it wasn't nearly as bad, even though it seemed worse. The wind direction was better, and our boat was way better in the class one. I mean, we saw 148 miles an hour, 147 miles an hour going into turn one, and hell, it was when it was calmer waters on Sunday. I think we were seeing like 138 or something, and that was one of the reasons why we made the decision to go down so much improp on the Super Cat. So it was just what we had felt earlier in the day.
Yeah, I mean, we were probably one too big, and I would have never thought. Like, we were on the fence of going a half size bigger.
Yeah.
And
And we would have been exactly the same way, except for we had been in the boat earlier, and you're like, man, we thought we'd be able to see these speeds in the Super Cat, and we can't even, see them in the
Class 1 boat.
we can't even see them in the there's no way we're going to see them in the Super Cat if we can't see them in the Class 1 just with the added power.
Yeah. Well, back to the Super Cat. I mean, Dirty Money, their troubles continue. I mean, they checked out. They were gone. And then I understand they had some kind of pretty big mechanical failure on the port side. Either
I
one
think
of you
they
guys
threw
getting
a belt or something like that.
Yeah, obviously I didn't talk to him after the race, but the people did tell me that there was an alternator or something changed that took out a belt that took out the engine or something like that.
Yeah,
and then I talked to Rob and Casey after the race, and they said that they lost an oil pump belt, which wrecked one of their engines. So those would have been the two failures that I remember in the race.
Yeah,
Super Cat.
But
yeah,
what was it about that corner? Because that took out 2-3 super stocks and nearly took out the 450.
Yeah,
I mean,
the other end, it's just the unsettled water, and you're turning into the wind, so it gets under the nose, and then as soon as you cut it more, it sets the nose down, and then the back
that's
end
where all the super stocks happened, is down in the south end?
South,
yeah.
Except for the one where the tit for tat
and steel.
Yeah.
And steel got together. That was a hook and then a stick in the side.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was in the north turn. That place is a great place to race because it's all so close, and the spectators are unbelievable. I mean, it's I don't know, it's something about up north and people being excited to go to a race or a parade and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
Sheboygan was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
venue.
The street parade was unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, I can't. It's like almost like a Michigan City, but it was, a little bit more spread out, different blocks.
More room,
a little bit more room. And lots of vendors and bands and stuff playing. It was really neat. It's crazy too that how many people from up there coming to go boating at Lake of the Ozarks, to where it's like they might live there locally and then but have a house at Lake of the Ozarks or go boating down here, to where I knew them through Performance Boat Center. So that was cool too.
Yeah. I hope we can figure out this Michigan City thing so we can go back to there, and then, the next weekend race here. Like, that's an easy back-to-back when we're only right here. I mean, for us, obviously, but just everybody's equipment, if we'd race in Michigan City and, guys ditch their trucks and boats somewhere in between here and there and then fly home and then fly back, like we did back to back with Lake of the Ozarks and then went to Ocean City. We all made it work, but they had some trucking to do, to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it'd be pretty cool if we could figure out this Michigan City stuff and get to go race there next year and then race here the weekend after. It'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys know the best. What is preventing that from happening?
Sanctioning bodies.
Politics.
Politics. Safety.
I mean, it's I guess it's really we decided to go with APBA and for have Supercat race under one sanctioning body, which initially should help our sport grow, because then there's one set of points, and There's not OPA points, P1 points, Race World points. We're all racing under APBA points.
And the fact that you want Sean Steiner and his crew, JR on all them, as your safety coordinators.
Right.
It's paramount. I mean, those guys know all of our boats.
Us,
and
everybody by name. It's
and they have assets that these guys, you know, are all either firemen, you know, first responders, you know,
EMS, divers, you know, all their divers. It was one of my buddies, he's a diver, and I was on the phone with him, and it was his first boat race that he went to up in Sheboygan, and he called me tonight, and he's like, man, it is a guy I grew up with, a couple years older than me, and on my grandpa's farm, I would drive the tractor, and he was on the wagon baling hay, and I was 10-year-old kid sitting in air conditioning, and see, he's probably 4 years older than me. You know, he's 14 or 15, and he's on the wagon stacking hay. And I'd always I'd turn around and wave to him. I'm
he wanted
cold
to murder
in here. It's cold in here. And him and his twin brother, they'd be on the wagon, flip me off, and I'd just be like, "That's cold." You know? And so he comes there and watches, and you know, he's seen my stuff on the internet, and you know, kind of follows it. And that was his first actual boat race he went to, and he's like, "That's fucking wild." I said, "Well, we don't really like put it in the air like that every race, so it's not usually like that." But he dives, and you know, he was asking us what the requirements of them divers, and I said, "Well, it's one big crew that kind of follows our circuit, or you know, all of the boat racing circuit that we're in." And you know, I'm sure that most of them guys are EMS as well as divers and firemen, you know, like he said, first responders. So it's just cool when, you know, Sean and like the rest of them guys, you know, come over and they'll just want to check out your boat that they've seen many times, but just to kind of rehearse and go over it, you know, with themselves to know how your latch opens and your escape hatch and your riff latches, and you know, how your turnbuckle is on your belt, if it's a latch or a cam, and you know, where all your stuff is.
Where your seatbelt knives are, and because we have them mounted in the boat to where if you had to cut them because you're stuck, you could.
Because yours is too tight?
Yeah, around my head. You know? Yeah. But the No, but there is. It looks like almost like a letter opener, but it's a knife, and to where you would drag it across the seatbelt.
Oh yeah,
to where you're not going to cut yourself, but you're going to cut the seatbelt.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Myrick and Vinnie are good friends. That's why we all knew right away that the deal wasn't anything intentional or malicious. But these guys bust each other's balls like nobody's business, and it's hilarious. And just like this, Vinnie calls Myrick fathead, and and I don't know what goes out.
I don't call him nothing.
Oh, all right. We'll just
call him buddy and bro and all that.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he was trying to. He was trying to fucking piss me off last night, and it didn't work. He was trying to make it backfire on me somehow last night in our text message.
No, I was not. I was heading out to a buddy's birthday party. Just trying to be nice.
Oh, okay.
You're like, is that supposed to make me mad? That's what he said. I was like, no, dickhead. It's not supposed to make you mad.
He sent me a video, and he's like, just he goes, here, just letting you see this. I'm like, okay. I go, is that supposed to make you mad? He goes, did you watch it? I said, yeah. And then I don't remember what I said after that.
What was it of?
Of him turning right.
Of the incident.
Turning right.
But from our boat's perspective.
Yeah.
So Vinnie, you're
Omar.
Your driver Matt, he's relatively new to you as far as being a partner with you. What was his take after the race and after the incident? Because both of you guys seemed very cool and collected despite all the chaos that was happening.
I mean, he had some choice words for Myrick. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he chewed me and got me in a headlock, and I okay, let's go to dinner and have a beer. And he's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, we're good.
He was actually really surprised because he could barely get his both hands around his head at the same time when he had him in the headlock.
My ass.
No, he just, I mean, nothing that we ever thought was intentional or whatever. But
Right.
Matt was like, well, damn, I don't really want to do that again, And once we got the boat down, we were kind of both pretty unscathed, and we were just happy that everything was heading in the right direction. And I mean, I think if you'd have played that video a little bit longer that our guy put out, I think we both just kind of said to each other, all right, let's go to work now.
Let's go. Yeah.
Plugging them off, I mean, again, that's not where we wanted to be, that early in the race, but, we just didn't give up and kept going. And, yeah,
Fourth place.
Yeah, it was a bummer for us. I felt like we had a top 3 boat on that day, and maybe the prop that I had was a little big, but I think if we could have been in a little bit more cleaner water and not had to battle as much to get up there, it would have definitely helped us. But no, I mean, Matt's hooked. We put in a new aim system with Torrente, got us hooked up with that, and just to start reading data better. And I mean, it's the only way you're ever going to catch these guys in dirty money is data. And Bill and Tyler, I mean, they're pretty smart on that stuff. And I mean, Matt's really smart on it too. And he's kind of
you just need the information to give to him.
Well, it's that and being able to have this. We had Race Pack in our boat, which is 20-year-old technology, and a lot of guys are still running that. And there's nothing on there to gain by, where now this aim system, it's showing us our lap times and where we're slower on the course and this and that. I mean, even when we're racing, Matt had it set up where it would show us, a green light will come on if that lap was faster than our last one, or, and it'd pop up our lap times. And so we could kind of see what we're doing wrong. And what really blew my mind is when after the race, we looked at our lap times, and our fastest lap of the race had the slowest top speed and the slowest slow speed, but yet it was our fastest lap of the race. Which
shortest point A to point B. Yeah.
It blew my mind that was the case, and without that data, you never learn that stuff or figure it out. So, I mean, it's put a lot more wind in our sail with our program, with having Tom Austin on board and helping us get to that point, and just being able to learn this data and figure it out. And Matt's kind of learned how to read all this stuff, and it's very helpful with our program, and it'll help us catch these guys.
Agreed.
Mark, you and Tyler have been using that for a little bit, right? The aim system.
We don't have the aim system. We have Motec and Race Pack is what's on ours. But yeah, but
Race Pack you're just using for your chip, right? For your data.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we also use that every once in a while for not necessarily lap times, just areas of the race. We can go back and look at the mapping on it, just like the Motec, and then be able to tell how fast we were through a certain section or set a start point. And just similar to his aim, I think his aim is better than what we have. But we had already committed the Motec for the telemetry because our guys can watch all of our engine parameters from a laptop on the bank, to where if we're having an issue, they can let you know. Not that matters, because you're going to saw the fucker in half no matter what anyway. Yeah.
But we actually have that. So for our next race now in Sarasota, we'll have the live telemetry up, so them guys can kind of watch on a laptop. And I mean, because we're not watching it in the boat. I mean, you're watching what's going on, and I don't even know that it's going to matter, because you could have one melting down like them guys did. Where was that, Sarasota?
Yeah,
they got one melting down, and clearly they knew it was melting down, and they didn't stop. So
oil pressure 0 on my starboard. I'm gonna try to keep it on plane.
Yeah. When you're in the lead, you're like, man, it'll make it another mile. And it did. Yeah. Well, Tyler, we're supposed to make the right call, but not always make the right call.
Yeah. I was saying, Tyler definitely didn't skip a beat getting back into the Supercat.
No, I mean, I was glad that just to be easy on his back for, a calm water race. When Sheboygan is usually, from what I've been there twice now, it was rough last year and then calm this year. So I don't know. Sarasota is always, it's never calm, but it's not really rough either, but it's that washboard kind of, I don't know what other race that I can maybe like a Clearwater. Yeah. Like a Clearwater or not rough like Key West can be, but similar. So,
it just has that wash that comes in and it's never on the right angle. So you're always like quartering a slop that it seems like,
Yeah, and you'll run through the race and you'll be like, you got to tighten it up through here. And then you'll go along the beach and then you're like, okay, going out, we got to tighten it up through here. And it's spots where you think that you could let it fly and air out, but you're going to catch one every once in a while. And that'll just make you, lose all that ground.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, last year the Midwest Challenge was in conjunction with Mercury Racing's 50th anniversary, and they were the title sponsors. So last year, only race boats with Mercury power were invited to come. This year was opened up to the entire fleet of P1. So, Vinnie, this was your first year there. What were your thoughts overall?
Well, it was my first year racing, but last year
racing there, right?
Yeah, last year we were the pace boat last year, so which was kind of fun. So I was around the course there a couple times, but I knew it was going to be a good event just because I was there last year. I mean, it's set up so awesome just with the fans. And now this year they let all the pits open to the public. So that really made it huge.
That was way better.
Because
last year they had chain link fence up. Yeah.
Yeah. I had people calling me last year and they're like, man, I just want to come over and see the pits. I mean, which that's a huge thing for so many fans because you never get to do it anywhere else. And so 3 weeks prior, we're running around scrambling and, I have people texting me. They're like, what about this? And what about that? And what time's this? And I'm like, like it's all on Google,
Yeah. But because this event is essentially in your backyard.
Yeah, no. And it's great.
Living in Wisconsin.
So, I answer all my friends and whatnot. And, just so many people are like, well, we went last year and we couldn't go into the pits. And I'm like, well, no, this year for sure you can go in the pits. It's all open to the public. And they just love to be able to see it. And they're like, well, how much is it? And can you get me a pit pass? And I'm like, I got you covered.
Yeah.
So, no, it was, it's super cool just because a lot of my friends up here, they're not traveling all over following our race circuit. And the closest one is Michigan City. And so they don't get to come see it all the time. They see it on TV and that's about it. But
yeah. And I think the fans really enjoyed having the race pits and the race boats all there and then seeing the crane, which a lot of fans don't see regularly or could have been their first time.
It's a cool aspect of it. I mean, it's still, I've been doing it for however many years, 20 years, and if not more, but then it's like to watch a boat up in the air, hanging there. It's like just a perspective that you've never seen. It's cool.
I had so many people that were like, oh, when are you going to crane in? We just want to see you get craned in. I mean, it's so cool to be able to see that. And they were really close this year, They just kind of closed off the one area where the cranes were so people could stand. And then they had that railing kind of up where the gas dock was. And so people were able to stand up on that railing and they're kind of elevated, from where the trailers and the boats were sitting. I mean, I don't think there would probably be a cooler view if you've never seen it before than where them people got to stand.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of racers that were walking down past the people, and you'd have kids sticking their arm through the fence, giving you five. And it was super cool. I mean, as cool as it was for them, it was equally as cool for all of us,
Yeah.
It was super neat.
Makes you feel like a big deal. Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Kind of a big deal.
Kinda.
Yeah, my daughter gave me one of these things to put on my desk. It says, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I got to take my kids, so that was exciting, but they just wanted to stay at the water park and stay on the beach and make...
The where, Vinnie? Where did he say he took the kids?
Oh, that's where Lenny and Jay, they went to the water park.
The water park.
They had free passes to the water park. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we didn't go down and check, But I'm pretty sure Billy from Billy Moff, Jay Muller, and Lenny, like the 3 crew members on WHM, they were all down in the water park. If they weren't at the bar, they were in the water park.
So I just
all of
happened
our
to be
kids.
I think they were at the bar more.
Yeah. I just happened to be in Vinny's pit when Billy Moff pulls up in his car. He's like, "Oh, what do you got going in the pits here?" And
got any Tito's?
got any Tito's? So
And
pours him a drink.
I asked him if he came from the water park.
He did. He goes, "Your boat looks different." I was like, "Yeah, it's a new wrap." He goes, "That's a wrap?" And it's like, yeah.
First he says, "Man, your boat looks different." I said, "Well, yeah, it's a whole different color. It was black before." Really? I'm like, what the fuck? We've been alongside each other, pitting in the race multiple times. And he's
Then
like,
he goes,
yeah.
He goes, "That's a wrap." He goes, "Yeah." Vinny goes, "Billy, I want to show you something off the back of the boat." And he walks around, shows him the transom. He's like, "What?" He goes, "This is what you're going to see in the whole race."
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Fuck you, I won 19 championships. How many you got?
Oh, then it started in with the Emperor of Japan.
Yeah, Japan. He beat the Emperor's kid or something.
Yeah, pretty sure he raced against Madonna and Tupac in the same boat probably one time. He's done it. I don't know. Biggie Smalls was navigating. I don't know.
I know, why not?
Oh man, but just the ball buzz was
I
killing me.
did see that fucker fly his jet over the pits inverted.
No way.
For sure.
Not many people I can say that.
God.
But
He's
I
like,
think he's
hey.
getting a new motor right now, so he's a peasant like the rest of us, and he has to fly
yeah,
commercial.
fly commercial.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I was such a peasant that I had to fly to Washington, D.C. to get to St. Louis from Sheboygan.
How did you get there, though?
Huh?
How did you get to Sheboygan?
Uber.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I thought you rode in a truck up there.
No.
Oh, I
No.
thought you rode with Powell or something. I thought I heard that you
No,
went trucking.
Preston did.
Oh,
But he was there. He was helping.
no,
He
bro.
was helping us with MCon, and then he was helping Cameron Turk with their new Speedboat. I think it was pretty cool looking. A little X-Insurance boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that single outboard cat.
Yeah, yeah.
So who raced
sat
that?
in it.
Torrente and the
Yeah,
Turk kid?
Cameron. Yeah, Cam Boner. That's what we call him. Yeah, but I think they're going to put a bigger engine package on it. That was a 225 that Mercury's coming out with, but so I don't know if it was as fast as they expected, but they also said that they didn't have propellers and they only had 20 minutes of test time and that they had drove it all night to get it there. But I think that class will be big long term. I think it'll probably.
I think it's a lot better of kids to start out racing that than in these open canopy boats.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, me and Myrick have talked about this before even with his son racing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd ever want my kid to race in one of them boats that doesn't have a lid on it, at least. Gotta give him
the
a
open
chance.
boats. Yeah.
Gotta give him a chance.
Even those freaking Texas boats have a cage on
That
them.
roll cage, yeah.
Yeah, that roll cage.
I mean, everybody was saying that we got big balls when we stood our boat up. I think them guys all got bigger balls than us just going out there in an open canopy boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 6 footers, I mean, when them guys were in Ocean City and
They disappear.
oh, we had this kid next to us on the dock in Ocean City. It was kind of a funny story. And I think we were testing at the time and they were going out to race, I think the day, on Saturday. And the kid they were struggling pretty good and they lost power steering or blew a line. And we come back.
Greg helped him out.
Yeah, Greg and I think Johnny and them they were down helping them. And they were from, I think, New Jersey. And I don't remember what the boat was called. And it's a funny story. But so we come back from testing and I see 3 red guys, with jerseys on, and they're down in this little boat as we're coming up the dock, and they quick pop out of this boat and they come and tie us up and we get out and I'm like, well, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, I blew a power steering line. The kid's got to race in 15 minutes. I'm like, well, hurry up. I'm like, let's get this kid out there, And so me and Matt are done testing and we finish up and they help them, and they're looking for power steering fluid, or what, ATF, I guess is what you'd put in. And the one kid goes and runs and grabs, a quart of oil. And they're dumping it in the helm, and the kid figures out it's gear lube, and he looks at Greg, and I thought he was going to start crying, and Greg goes, just keep going, and they're working it back and forth. He's like, it's going to be a little tight, but you'll be fine,
Got some 85, 90 in there, so instead of 0.
And so they got out there and they helped him, they got going, and me and Matt are going to leave and go back to the pits, and the kid's girlfriend was there, and she didn't have a way back or something, and she was like, oh, can you guys give me a ride? And we're like, yeah, so she gets in the back seat, and she's just a bunch of questions. They're in I don't even know what that class would be, but it's a single outboard, open canopy, and she's just
700.
There you go. She's asking us all these questions, and she's talking about boat racing being so expensive, and they had to get a hotel room, and it was this and that, and I'm like, yeah, well, we got like a rental house that sleeps 15, and you don't even want to know what that cost, and what our house for Key West costs. And I mean, her jaw was on the floor, and they were talking about coming to Sheboygan and all that, and it was expensive. I'm like, yeah, well, we have like 15 people. We need to get all these places. It just, just the size difference and what the crew that it takes.
Relativity. Yeah,
relativity. And she's like, well, but you guys win a lot. You get paid a lot when you win. I go, yeah, you guys probably get more than us. But yeah, it was just cool. I mean, they never seen, our side of things or really been around it. We share in the same pits, but they, I guess, never come around and really, see what we all
Stay
go
to
through.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of them think maybe a little timid or coming over to talk and share some of the stories, but it was super cool to be able to help them out. And I think they ended up finishing second in the race. So we were pretty pumped to be able to help them.
Yeah, that was cool. Greg told me the story. He was all excited about it.
Yeah, but just when we seen that kid dumping gear lube and that gear oil in the helm, we're like, oh no. But it worked, I guess. And then he goes out and races in big water, and I mean, maybe it helped him. It was a little tighter.
Yeah. Always the thing about helping somebody, especially in the heat of the moment, to where it's like, man, I've been here all weekend, and now it's down to that last, 20 minutes before the race. I can remember Clyde Petty having an issue or something. I forget what it was. We were somewhere, I think it was St. Pete, and he was sitting there running. He was starting it up, and it wouldn't pump water. And I'm like, you got that plug is still in there in a certain area because they were flushing it. And I told him, and I mean, he came up later and it's like, man, I missed that, it was just something when you're standing there on the seawall watching the whole shit show go on, you can pick up on, the scramble, the panic. I've been there to where a starter failed. And this is more in the day, a starter failed, right there before taking off. And you're like, then that's one of the things. It's like we always carry a starter down in our tool bag just so we have it just in case. Not that we have ever had it happen again, but hopefully if it's there, it's not going to do it. But you can throw a starter on real quick or whatever.
Well, the day you don't bring it is when it's gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
This podcast is powered by Speedboat Magazine. Subscribe now at speedboat.com for 9 power-packed current issues a year direct to your mailbox.